Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to your Thursday edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Michael Annan, and very nice conditions outside now as that cold front is moving through our region. 75 degrees currently with some mostly cloudy skies in the region. It's very breezy out there, though. You can see those winds out of the west-southwest. That's 17 miles per hour. That front is moving through right now. Most of the thunderstorm activity is now off towards our east, and we're going to begin a clearing trend as we go throughout the nighttime hours, and conditions are going to cool off behind that cold front. You'll start to see on the satellite and radar with that low pressure system moving off towards the north and the east. We also have this reinforcing front behind it that will reinforce the cooler air over our region for the weekend and setting up for an awesome weekend on tap. So for tonight's forecast, 51 degrees with those clearing skies expected and a change of the wind direction from the north-northwest. And then look at this weekend forecast. Perfect conditions with temperatures in the 60s for the first 2 days and then around 70 degrees on Sunday. FSU Weather starts right now.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Tyler Sherrod.
And I'm student meteorologist Adam Rhodes.
So today was quite an interesting day. The beginning of the day, we saw a lot of rain moving through the Tallahassee region.
It definitely was. I mean, this morning I woke up to the sound of raindrops on the rooftop, and I opened up my window and I decided, is today going to be a long pant day or a shorts day? So I ended up going with long pants today.
I never planned ahead. I went with the shorts. I was walking around all day, didn't bring my umbrella. So as usual, I was getting soaked by all of the rain. But recently, over the past couple hours, though, we've seen that rain move out. It's still somewhat cloudy, but the sun's starting to peek back out.
Definitely. It's starting to feel humid outside. I was definitely regretting wearing those long pants, but as the humidity came in, I changed into a pair of shorts, luckily, for those of you concerned, and it ended up really well.
So now, as we move through the next couple of days, we're going to be expecting sunnier skies,
definitely,
some cooler temperatures now. And we're going to start to see some of the rain move back into the region, but not until next week, starting around Monday or Tuesday.
That's right. We got to make the most of this next week because the sun's out, and that means spring break is on the horizon for the both of us.
Yeah, just one more week until spring break. Hopefully we can see some of this weather persist.
Yes, definitely.
Especially when I go back to Central Florida. Maybe some warmer temperatures so I can hit the beach or something like that.
Same here.
But now we're going to send things back over to the wall with Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler. So right now, getting a closer look at the southeast, you can see the radar, what's currently happening as this stationary front is finally starting to move off, as not giving Mississippi or Alabama any more rain at the current moment. They're still sticking around in Georgia and starting to persist and move on towards the Carolinas. Going into our national breakdown, this is this cold front, low pressure is starting to finally push that stationary front out of the air. It's still relatively stationary down by South Florida. As you can see, there's a warm front, though, that's going to start pushing those rain showers up north towards North Carolina into southern Virginia. Getting a temperature breakdown right now. The coldest spots are right in front of where that warm front is and where you're getting that rainfall at the moment. Coldest spot is 50 degrees in Charlotte. Down behind, once the rain clears up, there you have some warmer temperatures as you're 70 degrees in Little Rock and 72 in Shreveport. But by far, the warmest spots on the map are South Florida with 85 degrees in Orlando and all the way down to 87 degrees in Miami. Our dew points right now, we have those drier dew points sticking around. Once that front starts passing through the area, these drier dew points are going to be pushed in through the area, and we're going to start feeling great. South Florida, though, you are feeling very muggy, which is reflected in our muggy meter. Everywhere else in the southeast, we have nice, happy smiles. And then reach Jacksonville, Orlando, and Tampa, and you're just like, what am I doing here? This is awful. It's too muggy. But getting to our wind speed breakdown, you can see these northerly winds are going to start bringing those drier, bringing that drier air is going to start feeling a lot less humid. But if you're down by South Florida, you're getting that flow off the Gulf, which is bringing you a lot of moisture. On our drought monitor, you still have some abnormally dry specks in Louisiana, and Tallahassee has its severe drought bubble, as most of the southeast has been getting quite a lot of rainfall, but none of it has really seemed to land in Tallahassee. Going into the next 24 hours, that stationary front is going to finally push out of the southeast as things are going to start clearing up to what's looking like it's going to be a fantastic weekend. Going to tonight's forecast, it's going to start cooling down. You're going to have a lot of clear skies. It's going to be 42 degrees on Little Rock. As you start moving towards the coast, you can expect to have some rain showers tonight, as the warmest spot for the night is going to be 73 degrees in Miami. Going into tomorrow's forecast, it's going to be sunshines all over, except down in South Florida, as that front's finally going to reach you. There's going to be some storms down in Miami. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to the wall with Tyler.
Thank you, Chris. We're going to take a look at our rainfall almanac for our local region. Today observed 0.28 inches of rain, which is a little bit more than we normally see this time of the year, but we're still in a little bit of that deficit for the year. So the more rain we get, the better to get us out of these drought conditions. And here it is right now, Tallahassee on the cusp of being in a moderate drought and abnormally dry. So we're still kind of just right in the middle right there. We could still use some more rain. We don't really want to be dry right now. We want to be more like the southern regions of Georgia, where they're not in that drought monitor at all. And we see through Tallahassee, there's still some spotty showers moving in all around us, but most of that rain is really passed to our east. Lake City still seeing some storms move through right now. Waycross saw some a little bit earlier in the afternoon, and those are going to continue to move east, impact some of the northeast regions of Florida, like Jacksonville. Temperatures right now, Tallahassee, you're at 75 degrees. Donaldsonville is at 60 degrees. Some of that rain and cloudiness still over there to bring down the temperatures for them. Thomasville, you're also sitting at 61 degrees. So you can see quite the temperature contrast in between the Florida-Georgia border right there. And our Muggy meter shows that as well. Very dry, comfortable conditions for Thomasville, even though I saw a little rain cloud right there. I'm not sure what's going on, but really these muggy conditions persisting for the regions with rain. I'm sure that the rain's moving out of Thomasville by now, and as we move westward, still seeing some of the muggy conditions. So overall, we're going to start to get better as the rain continues to get away from us and these winds start to transition to the north a little bit, bring in some of that drier air. Right now, Tallahassee, though, still experiencing some windy conditions, 17 miles per hour. Perry at 12 miles per hour for their wind speeds. So over the next 24 hours, we're going to see the rain continue to move east. Cloud cover is still going to stick around until we get into Friday morning. But then by then, after that cold front finally passes through, going to be absolutely beautiful skies and dry conditions for your weekend. For tonight, Tallahassee, we're going to get down to 50 degrees. Thomasville at 48. And once you get closer to the coastline, just slightly warmer. St. Mark's is at 51 degrees. So fairly constant temperatures throughout the Big Bend region. And as we move into tomorrow, we're not going to really see 70s anywhere at all. Tallahassee, 67 degrees. Valdosta is getting up to 65. Once again, the temperatures all throughout the region are going to be fairly constant. So over the next 7 days, once again, not going to see much rain at all, not much of a chance at all until we get to Monday. Still going to be sunny. Tuesday and Wednesday, we're going to see cloudier conditions. And Thursday is going to be the only real chance of seeing some of that rain, with temperatures getting up to 74 degrees. Now we're going to pass things back to the desk with Michael and Chris.
Yeah, thank you, Tyler. As today on the desk, we're actually going to start breaking down today in weather history.
Yep, our normal Thursday segment. We'll start off with 1960. Today in 1960, Eastern Massachusetts got their greatest March snowstorms. Most likely that's nor'easter season up towards Massachusetts. So they got 27.2 inches in over 24 hours. 17.7 inches in Worcester, 16.6 inches in Boston. And the wind gusts, because you have those coastal lows, up to 70 miles per hour. So.
Yeah, they haven't gotten much snow this year, but way back in 1960, if you want to reminisce on some snowstorms. Also in 1987, there was a storm in the western U.S. that produced heavy rain in California that brought up to 6 inches of rain in the San Francisco Bay Area. in 24 hours.
Yeah, San Francisco doesn't get that much rain that often. They actually went the entire month of February without any measurable rain, so quite the opposite to what they've experienced this past February.
Yeah, it's usually fairly dry around this time of year in California, but 6 inches of rain, especially early March, is out of the ordinary.
Yeah, and then going to 1988, 8 North Dakota cities had record high temperatures, 61 degrees in Bismarck, and we're thinking 61 is not that warm, but up towards North Dakota, that is really warm for this time of year. And then you also had snow in Oklahoma and Kansas, so quite the contrast in terms of weather conditions.
Yeah, it's usually you expect to have those colder temperatures to the north, but it was 61 degrees in Bismarck, and it was snowing down south in Kansas and even northern Oklahoma. But for now, I'm going to pass things off to Adam at the wall.
Michael?
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna send it actually off to the wall with the national. Yeah. So we're gonna if we switch it over to the national. Look at that contrast in Florida. 93 degrees in Sebring this time yesterday, which is just west of Tampa. Meanwhile, out towards Idaho this morning in Lake Yellowstone, 0 degrees as a low. The main story right now, we do have this low pressure system down towards the panhandle of Florida. Been giving a lot of rain toward the Georgia and the Carolina. That's slowly going to lift off towards the northeast as we head towards the course of tonight and into tomorrow. We do have this front here that has a lot of moisture to work with, but what it's really going to do is reinforce the cool air over the eastern two-thirds of the nation. Let's zoom in first to our temperatures across the nation. You'll see pretty cool conditions out towards the southern Appalachians. Only 51 degrees in Atlanta, 75 down towards Tallahassee, and it's been very warm down towards Florida today. You'll start to notice some of the high temperatures they observed in Florida in just a few minutes in our Florida segment. Then out towards Dallas, pretty nice conditions as well, with them in the 70s, but then cooler conditions up towards Minneapolis at 36 degrees. You can see a lot of moisture ahead of that low pressure system in Florida with dew points in the 50s, 60s, and some even the 70s. Tallahassee, though, that dew point is dropping as that cold front is moving through as we speak. Just an hour ago, that dew point was in the 70s. Now it's dropped at least 10 degrees. So that dry air is filtering in, and that's going to continue for the rest of tonight. But really dry conditions across the rest of the U.S. Now in the winds, you can see we do have northerly flow behind this system currently located in Florida. And so that's bringing that dry air. But where you have more of the moisture, the wind is coming off the Gulf of Mexico and the Atlantic. We do need some rain down towards South Texas, and we haven't seen that much rain. And this drought it's going to probably worsen over the next week if we don't see any of this rain. The next 48 hours shows you that system down towards the Florida panhandle and the system you saw up towards Chicago really combine and form this new, stronger low that does skirt the New England coastline. It's been all winter where these storm systems have been getting close, but we haven't had those blockbuster snow events, and this is going to be another one of those where it just skirts the coastline and the main impacts stay off towards Newfoundland and in the Atlantic. Meanwhile, the rest of the country looking really great, minus the Pacific Northwest you see up towards here, but really great weekend on tap for that daylight saving on Sunday. For tonight's forecast, a little cooler conditions out towards the interior portion of the country as that northerly flow brings in that cooler air. And then tomorrow, the colder conditions stay up towards the Great Lakes. Meanwhile, the warmer conditions stay down towards the Gulf Coast and Florida. Now let's send it off to Adam for our look at our local.
That's right. Thank you, Michael. Now we're here at the weather wall, and as you can see, the current conditions here in Tallahassee is 75 degrees, cloudy outside. We have a slight sunset right over Doak Campbell Stadium. Love to see it. Winds moving southwest at 17 miles per hour. As you can see, satellite and radar, we have some slight scattered showers and thunderstorms over Brunswick and Waycross, but down here in Tallahassee, as you can see, that is kind of moving along and out, and it's moving towards the east. Current temperature in Tallahassee, 75, 70 in Quincy, and it's a little colder in Donaldsville with it being 60 degrees. Down in Perry, Florida, you'll be seeing it 72 degrees, and you'll see some slight cloud coverage over Leon County. Now the dew point, we're at 58 degrees in Tallahassee, 71 in Monticello. Up in Donaldsonville at 63 for your dew point. Over the next 24 hours, you'll be seeing constant cloud coverage moving over into the southeast version of the state of Florida. But as you can see, after that cloud coverage is over, it'll be clear and sunny skies for your Friday afternoon. Tonight, it will be 51 degrees with rain clearing, scattered storms, a lot of cloud coverage with winds moving northwest at 9 miles per hour. And now, tomorrow, it's supposed to be a sunny 68 degrees, winds moving northwest at 16 miles per hour. Be sure to find yourself on Landis Green or in Cascades Park and enjoy the day because it's supposed to be a beautiful weekend. Now for your 7-day forecast, we have sunny skies all week. This is something we have been waiting for so much and for so long, everybody. So on Friday, we're going to have a high of 68 and a low of 51. And then on the weekend, we're going to have a high of 64, and it's going to get a little more chilly with temperatures dropping down to 38 degrees. And then you'll see on Sunday, wake up a little bit earlier because we're dialing it and springing forward in time with it being 71 degrees with a low of 38. And then on to Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and the next week preparing for spring break, which we're all excited for. It'll be a sunny 74 degrees, moving to 78, moving to 78 degrees, and 74 degrees with slight scattered showers, so be sure to have your rain jacket and be prepared for the spring break. Spring break will be pretty fun. Hopefully it gets a little warmer so we can hit up the beaches wherever in Florida you're from, whether it's Jack's Beach, whether it's Miami Beach, or maybe it's even St. Mark's. But over the next 7 days, we're looking for beautiful weather. So I'm going to send it back to the desk, and I'm Adam Rhodes, your student meteorologist.
Thanks, Adam. Here at the desk now, me and Chris are going to talk about some of the weather we're expecting for the United States over March and getting into April and May as well.
Yeah, for the most part, the nation has been warmer than average, and that trend appears to be sticking around a little bit longer.
Yeah, warmer than average temperatures are expected for much of the nation as we go through March. And even looking at some locations finally enjoying their first 60s and 70-degree marks of the year. They've been stuck in the 40s and 50s for much of the year, way up north.
Yeah, and typically they don't tend to get to the 60s or 70s until we get close to the summer months. For them experiencing it all the way until like early March is really something.
Yeah, usually springtime only starts early for southern states, really mostly just Florida and California, I would suspect. But early March snow cover right now for much of the U.S. is the lowest it's been in 16 years. So that's really some more information that's helped backing up the fact that we're expecting a warmer March than average.
Yeah, that snow cover, typically the snow reflects a lot more sunlight, which keeps us from getting as much temperature, from warming up as much during the day.
Yeah, and so as we move throughout March, April, and May, you don't expect to see as much snow as you see in the December, January, and February months, but it can still happen as you go further up north, right, Chris?
Yeah, so I'm from Northern Virginia, and I can count many a times that the only days of the year we actually had off for school for snow days actually happened in March. So snow can happen in March, and even if you keep going further up north to like Montana, North Dakota, you can get snow even all the way until May.
Yeah, fortunately, I've never had to deal with snow like that. I'm sure missing school because of the snow must have been fun, but also shoveling the snow doesn't sound like a blast to me. I'll stick with the rain here in North Florida. Now I'm going to pass things off to the wall once again with Michael with a look at Florida.
Yeah, thanks Tyler and Chris. And very warm conditions down here in Florida, unlike some places up towards the north. We do have this frontal boundary moving right now. The low pressure is currently just dragging along the Gulf Coast of Florida and northern Florida, bringing on a few scattered showers up towards Gainesville and Jacksonville, but clear conditions down towards the I-4 corridor in southern Florida. And you should see some of these temperatures we've had today in just a few seconds. But nice cloudy conditions, but much cooler air filtering in behind the system out toward the Panhandle in Pensacola, Destin, and Panama City. Meanwhile, out toward north central Florida, we do have a few scattered showers and thunderstorms associated with this cold front. A little strong one actually right out now at the I-10, I-75 junction. So that's going to move off toward the north and east over the course of the next few hours. And then down towards South Florida, very clear conditions and toasty. You're going to see these temperatures and it's like, it's March. Look at this, 89 degrees in West Palm Beach. They were up at 92 degrees earlier today. Perfect conditions to practice for those who need to play in the Players next week. Up towards Gainesville, 76 degrees right now with those cloudy conditions. But you can notice this frontal boundary up towards southern Georgia. That's the contrast between that warmer, humid air and much cooler, stable air up north. And that's going to move up towards the north, but then that cold front is going to shift through South Florida and bring in those much cooler conditions compared to the 90s we've seen down towards Central and South Florida today. Now the dew points ahead of that low pressure system in the Gulf and along the North Florida coastline, you see a lot more moisture to work with, 70-degree dew point in Tampa and 71 in Gainesville. But then that drier air is filtering behind the frontal boundary now in Pensacola and Tallahassee, with their dew points are now in the 50s. So the muggy meter looking pretty better, and it's going to be much better for the next few hours over Tallahassee and Pensacola, but very muggy condition for the rest of the state. But they'll improve as well as we go throughout the nighttime hours and definitely through the course of your Friday. Now your winds are showing you it is breezy ahead of this frontal boundary, and that's going to continue, and that wind direction is going to shift behind the front. So for tomorrow's forecast, you'll notice how that front moves through most of the state except for South Florida, so much cooler conditions behind that, but you'll have that very breezy north wind behind it, and so it's going to be difficult for those out towards Bay Hill in Orlando tomorrow for that second round. Let's send it off to Tyler now for our last local, or lifestyle.
Thank you, Michael. Handed it off to me with the lifestyle forecast. Here's our FSU Weather Sim camera showing the sun setting through those clouds. The cloud coverage is finally starting to die down here in Tallahassee as the cold front continues to push through. So we're going to start to see those sunnier and beautiful skies. But wait, look at this. Tomorrow's day planner has just appeared. So what will we do? Oh, meteorologist Chris. I guess I wasn't planned to have this segment, but let's see what we're going to do. Forecast, run tech. No, I'm on the screen, so I'm going to give you a forecast. Meteorologist Chris used forecast. It's all right. It's super effective. 9 a.m., 54 degrees. 1 p.m., going to get up to 65 degrees, and then our high temperature going to be around 67 as we get to 4 p.m. tomorrow. So if you're planning on heading to the basketball game this Saturday against Boston College is our home closer for the season. 64 degrees is going to be the temperature right around when you're walking to the stadium. Tip-off's at 4:30 p.m. Hopefully we can close off the season with a win. And then FSU baseball is going to be away. 52 degrees at Duke there in North Carolina on Friday, March 6th. Game's going to start right around 4 p.m. And if you want to head to the res, once again, not really the best conditions to get into the water. It's still going to be fairly cool at 64 degrees, but still a great day to just bask in the sunlight. Maybe if you want to get a canoe, a great day to do that at the res as well. And if you want to walk your dog tomorrow, pretty much a great time to do it any time of the day. 7 a.m. is going to be 50 degrees. Might be a little bit chilly right around then, but by the time you get to 11 a.m., it's going to be 59 degrees, so going to be comfortable as you get into those mid-afternoon hours. So for the weekend ahead, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are looking beautiful and sunny with those temperatures going to be in the mid-60s to lower 70s for the highs. Now I'm going to pass things off to Chris. He's going to close out our wall segments with our last local.
Thank you, Tyler. Yeah, you did take my segment, so I guess I'll take yours. But right now, you can still see a little bit of thunderstorms off over by Lake City. However, most of the storms finally started to clear out of the area, as well as this cloud cover is starting to look like it's going to. But right now, we're going to take a look at our satellite and radar. There's this low pressure system that finally came in, started pushing those fronts out of the area, bringing in some nice clear skies behind it. So right now we're going to take a look at current temperatures. You can see the front really starting to impact Donaldsonville as well as up in the northern areas with 59 degrees in Donaldsonville, with down to 75 in Tallahassee. As this temperature shift, these cooler temperatures are going to start be trending as that front starts moving further and further past us. It's going to start cooling us down and pushing these warm dew points out of the area. But going to our wind speeds, you can start seeing this northerly flow coming and starting to push the southerly flow out of the area, which is going to be giving us those cooler, drier air, which is going to be keeping us nice and calm for the weekend. Over the next 24 hours, that rain and those cloud covers are going to start pushing out of the area. And it's going to be shaping up to be a fantastic morning with clear skies around 9 a.m. It's going to be sticking around all day. So tomorrow's a great day to be studying if you have any late midterms before spring break, if you want to study on a Friday on Landis. However, for those of us who took all their midterms before time, it'll be a great day to enjoy the outdoors. But tonight's forecast, it's going to have partly cloudy skies. We're going to be a little bit chilly. It's going to be 48 degrees in Bainbridge, 50 degrees in Tallahassee, and 51 degrees in Perry. Tomorrow's forecast is shaping up to be a beautiful day. 64 degrees Bainbridge, 67 Tallahassee, 68 Perry. It's going to be, honestly, a quite marvelous week ahead. Really looking forward to this 7-day forecast. Look at all the sunshine we have. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days of sunshine. You do have some slight chances of rain to look forward to if you are a fan of weather. But going into this weekend, it's going to be a marvelous day. Sunday, don't remember daylight savings time. So remember that you have one less hour, as well as we're going to have the annual Radar Cup. But hopefully, Evan, Parker, and I win. Got to be passing it off soon to another team at the desk with Michael and Tyler.
Thanks, Chris. Yeah, quite the rivalry we have going on for our annual Radar Cup, which is a golf tournament that us meteorology students at FSU take part in every year.
Oh yeah, and the weather's looking absolutely amazing for that. Upper 60s to around 70, light winds, so perfect scoring conditions.
Exactly. Myself, you, and Zach Law, we're all on the same team. I think we can handle Chris and Parker in this tournament.
Oh yeah, I think we have a good hand. Dylan thinks his team has the advantage on paper, but you have to remember I planned these teams. So.
Well, I've never played golf, so you're gonna have to guide me through this tournament. Hopefully, I can learn from the master of golf himself.
Well, let's look at that 7-day. The cold front is moving through right now. You saw those dew points actually drop within the hour from 74 to 58 in the span of an hour. So that is bringing drier air, but much cooler conditions on Saturday morning and Sunday morning in those 30s.
Yeah, but luckily, this cold front doesn't seem to be quite as strong as the last one. We're still seeing those high temperatures getting into the upper 60s, so it's not going to be quite as cold as the last cold front we saw.
Yeah. Now we're getting into the spring months. We're not getting a lot of those cold blasts from Canada really anymore. And we're getting into that time of year where you get the chilly mornings, but then those nice warm afternoons.
So be sure to follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/FSU Weather.
Yeah, don't forget about the facebook.com/FSU Weather as well.
You can always watch us live on YouTube Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. at youtube.com/FSU Weather.
Yeah, and don't forget about the Instagram at FSU Weather. It is a perfect condition to head out to the links like we will do on Sunday. So if you do have any pictures like that, don't forget to tag us in those pictures.
And luckily, those warmer temperatures will be great for a certain golf tournament that's happening soon that I know you're very excited about, Michael.
Oh, yeah. We had warm conditions in South Florida today to practice for the players. So hopefully our main guy does play in the players next week. We will find out tomorrow. But for all of us here, we will see you tomorrow.